serving in 8 countries, including Tanzania, Kenya, Zambia, Malawi, Ethiopia, South Sudan, Central African Republic, Papua New Guinea, and India. Furthermore, the foundation contributes towards empowerment of women, young people, and children with high levels of social responsibility in a different ways. By the continuous visionary leadership of Father Founder and Chancellor and support of Major Superiors of DMI and MMI, Sister Nana Selvam, President of DFT, the university is being administered by Dr. D. Nanadurai, Vice Chancellor, Dr. A. Robert Javier, Registrar, Dr. Thiagarajan, Controller of Examinations, Sister Highness Mary, DMI, Deputy Registrar, Sister Chinamal, DMI Financial Controller, Father Station, MMI Campus Manager, Father Anish, MMI Public Relations Officer, and other fathers and sisters who are involved in teaching, instruction, management of campus, and boarding and lodging. The institution has a strong vision and mission that is to learn, discover, create, and innovate, and to become global leaders with vision and values for a new world to come. St. Joseph University has highly committed around 163 faculties in its galaxy. More than 60% of faculty members with PhD, currently around 3,500 young technocrats are pursuing their undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral degrees in different streams. The institution provides a unique curriculum of choice-based graded system (CBCS) that emphasizes skills that can bridge the gap between education. Furthermore, the NEP, which provides students with a wide range of options for courses based on their aptitude and career goals. Comprehensive. The university offers 37 different courses, 20 undergraduate and 17 postgraduate, with 19 departments in humanities, science, social science, engineering programs, management, and diploma and PG diploma courses. Now, let's have a quick view of our infrastructures with specialties, having coupled with varied classrooms, seminar halls, laboratories such as language lab, psychology lab, journalism and mass communication lab, biotechnology lab, physics lab, chemistry lab, geology lab, botany lab, engineering workshop, survey lab, hydraulic lab, the strength of material lab, computer center. In addition to these, other amenities like Salutem Wellness Center, Counseling Center, scholarship for deserving and meritorious students, Heritage Center, transport services, canteen, stationery shop, playground with 400 meters track, prayer hall for regulating proficient but also guidance sessions. Currently executive of the university, creative mind, personality, attitude, which are very much to create fully. Thank you.
Hello, 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 check, hello, 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 check, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. This one we have to switch on, no? Okay, okay. Now switch. Let us all rise up on our feet to receive our dignitaries and guests. Please be seated. Greetings and welcome to the second International Conference on Multidisciplinary Research and Innovation, organized by Internal Quality Assessment Cell of St. Joseph University, Chumukitima, Nagaland. I am Dr. Imkam Naro, Assistant Professor from the Department of Education. I am thrilled to be your chairperson for this exciting event. Honorable respected founder Reverend Dr. G.E. Arol Raj, the Chancellor of the University, Honorable Pro-Chancellor Reverend Dr. James Toffel, Bishops of Kohima, all the dignitaries, distinguished guests, delegates, esteemed speakers, honored guests, faculties, paper presenters, and participants. On behalf of the organizing committee, it is an honor to invite you to join for this exciting gathering that brings together a number of experts, professionals, and learners. As chairperson of this conference, I'm delighted to share with you all this experience on conference theme, Multidisciplinary Research and Innovation, Trend and Innovation in Academia. Together, let's ignite the spark of knowledge and embark this 2 days journey together with learning experience. Thank you to the Department of Economics students for delivering an outstanding inaugural presentation. Let us now invite our esteemed Deputy Registrar, Dr. Reverend Sister Tynus Mary, to lead us in prayer.
I kindly request everyone to rise for the prayer. James chapter 1 verse 5. It says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him." Heavenly Father, we claim this promise as we start our day and trust in your providence. Lord, as we gathered for the second International Conference on Multidisciplinary Research and Innovation, we welcome your presence among us. We ask for your guidance upon each of us and your wisdom. Bless our Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, and Vice-Chancellor, that their leadership may inspire us to reach new heights through new trends and innovations. God the Father, we seek your special blessings upon our chief guest, Dr. Bhagrati Banda, Director, ICSSR, and his wife, and distinguished speakers joining us virtually. May their insights and experiences enrich and open our minds to renew possibilities. Lord, we also ask you to bless all those who have gathered here, fathers, sisters, deans, paper presenters, participants, who will be also joining us virtually. Conveners, organizers, committee members, volunteers, and students who have worked tirelessly to make this conference a reality. Lord, as we explore into topics that challenge us to think critically and innovatively, we pray that our discussions lead to actionable insights and collaborations that extend beyond this conference. Lord, may the knowledge we share today serve not only to advance our own fields, but also to contribute positively to society. Help us to be instruments of change, using our research and innovation to uplift our communities and world. Lord, we place this 2 days of conference in your hands, trusting in your guidance and grace as we embark on this journey together. In your holy name we pray through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Sister Tynus, for setting the dawn for our gathering with your meaningful invocation. I now invite Dr. Mgong Sanla Longchar, Director of IQAC, to the stage for welcome address.
Respected dignitaries, esteemed speakers, honored guests, and my dear colleagues. Good morning to everyone. It's my great honor and privilege to warmly welcome each one of you to the second international conference organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of St. Joseph University. As the director of the IQAC, I'm thrilled and excited to see such a distinguished academician, researchers, and professionals being gathered here from various areas. At the heart of any institution lies the commitment to continuous improvement and quality enhancement. The IQAC plays a vital role in this mission, ensuring that our teaching, research, and institutional practices are aligned with global standards. This conference is one of the many initiatives aimed at fostering collaboration, innovation, and quality advancement. On behalf of IQAC, St. Joseph University, I warmly welcome our keynote speaker and also our special guest, Dr. Bhagarati Panda, the Director of ICSSR Regional Office Northeast Region. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and for your presence. All these years, we have been meeting you through online for various seminars, so finally, we get to see you in person, so we are very happy. I'd also like to welcome ma'am, the lady wife of Professor Panda. Thank you, ma'am, for joining, sir. We are so honored to have you both in our midst today. My sincere welcome also goes to our Vice Chancellor, sir, who is our support system for every event. Thank you for your presence, sir. I would also like to welcome all the dignitaries, speakers, paper presenters from various institutions from national as well as international level. Some are here with us for the program. Some are joining us through online mode. I welcome each one of you. I'd also like to welcome all the faculties and students from St. Joseph University who are here to join us. The theme for this conference, Trends and Innovation in Academia, reflects the needs for addressing the evolving practices, technologies, and approaches that are reshaping education, research, and the overall academic environment as we embark on the journey of knowledge sharing and collaboration over the next 2 days. I encourage you all to actively participate and engage yourself in a healthy discussion, making new connections, and share your experience so that we may all have an enriched with fresh perspective and innovative strategies. Lastly, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all the speakers and participants from various fields for contributing your time, knowledge, and expertise in this event. A special word of thanks also goes to the conveners and members of IQAC whose dedication and hard work have made the conference. So with this, I once again, on behalf of the IQAC, welcome each one of you. Let's work together to make this conference a fruitful and a meaningful experience for everyone involved. Thank you all.
Thank you for your kind words, for your warm and gracious welcome. We would like to take a moment to facilitate and recognize the valuable presence of our esteemed delegates. To do the honor, I would like to call up to the stage our Honorable Vice Chancellor. And I would like to call up Dr. Bhagarati Panda, our keynote speaker. I would also like to acknowledge the support of Mrs. Bhagarati, Kapita Satabati. A special thank you for your presence today. Kindly receive our appreciation. Before we proceed on further, I invite you to watch a brief video showcasing our university's achievement and vision. This video demonstrates our university's dedication to our mission and values.
Welcome to have inclusive view of St. Joseph University campus and its infrastructure, facilities, faculties, academics, research, sports, cultural events, fest and many more important activities. To begin, St. Joseph University is a private university founded in 2016 under Nagaland Government Act No. 6 of 2016, recognized by University Grants Commission (UGC) and approved by All India Council for Technical Education (AICTE), run by DMI Sisters and MMI Fathers. St. Joseph University Nagaland is the third university of DMI Foundation and the first Catholic university in Nagaland and the fourth Catholic university in India. The university was established by Reverend Father Dr. J. Arulraj, founder of DMI and MMI congregations and founder and chancellor of university, who administers many institutions through DMI Sisters and MMI Fathers under the flagship of DMI Foundations. He continues to reach out to the young minds through his missionary zeal. His Lordship, Most Reverend Dr. James Topple, the Bishop of Kohima. He is the Pro-Chancellor of the university and serves as a member of the Board of Governors. His contribution in establishment of the university is incredible. He made it his primary mission to get approval for the university from the state government of Nagaland. Who is the DMI Foundation? It is a global philanthropic organization that works through universities, educational institutions in India and abroad, such as the arts and science, education, engineering and technology and medical colleges, one of which is well equipped with modern technology attached with 360-bedded super specialty hospital in India, and philanthropic services rendering in many countries such as the United States of America, Germany, Brazil, and in Africa, serving in 8 countries including Tanzania, Kenya, Zambia, Malawi, Ethiopia, South Sudan, Central African Republic, Papua New Guinea, and India. Furthermore, the foundation contributes towards empowerment of women, young people, and children with high levels of social responsibility in different ways. By the continuous visionary leadership of Father, Founder, and Chancellor, and support of major superiors of DMI and MMI, Sister Nana Selvam, President of DFT, the university is being administered by Dr. D. Nanadurai, Vice Chancellor, Dr. A. Robert Javier, Registrar, Dr. Thiagarajan, Controller of Examinations, Sister Thynas Mary, DMI, Deputy Registrar, Sister Chinamal, DMI Financial Controller, Father Chasian, MMI, Campus Manager, Father Anish, MMI Public Relations Officer, and other fathers and sisters who are involved in teaching, instruction, management of campus, and boarding and lodging. The institution has a strong vision and mission that is to learn, discover, create, and innovate, and to become global leaders with vision and values for a new world to come. St. Joseph University has highly committed around 163 faculties in its galaxy, more than 60% of faculty members with PhD. Currently, around 3,500 young technocrats are pursuing their undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral degrees in different streams. The institution provides a unique curriculum of choice-based graded system (CBCS) that emphasizes skills that can bridge the gap between education and employment. Furthermore, the National Education Policy and EP, which provides students with a wide range of options for courses based on their aptitude and career goals to experience comprehensive learning experience. The university offers 37 different courses, 20 undergraduate and 17 postgraduate, with 19 departments in humanities, science, social science, engineering programs, management, and diploma and PG diploma courses. Now let's have a quick view of our infrastructures with specialties, having coupled with varied classrooms, seminar halls, laboratories such as language lab, psychology lab, journalism and mass communication lab, biotechnology lab, physics lab, chemistry lab, geology lab, botany lab, engineering workshop, survey lab, hydraulic lab, the strength of material lab, computer center. In addition to these, other amenities like Salutem Wellness Center, Counseling Center, scholarship for deserving and meritorious students, Heritage Center, transport services, canteen, stationery shop, playground with 400 meters track, prayer hall for regulating spiritual activities, library with internet connectivity, mineral water for drinking, generator, separate boys and girls hostel are available inside the campus. The Center for Research guides and coordinates research activities in all disciplines and students' research forums. It promotes research excellence through various tasks like initiating and organizing research projects, coordinating, monitoring, and evaluating student research. The center also encourages faculty to attract external funding by providing linkages and collaborative support, streamlining guidelines. The institute provides PhD programs in 18 different disciplines. Presently, there has been a remarkable increase in the number of enrollment of scholars, with a total of 125 students pursuing their PhD studies. These scholars have received accolades and recognition in diverse fields. In addition to regular classroom teaching, our institution is committed to providing comprehensive guidance to students, ensuring excellence in their respective fields. Dr. Kinitoli H.E.F. Tho, Dean of Social Science, Dr. K. Raja Ganesh, Dean of Science and Management Studies, Professor Charles Monthung Izung, Dean of Student Affairs. Head of departments and all the teaching faculties actively contribute to achieving academic quality and offer a wide range of opportunities for students to engage in various departmental activities. These activities include organizing seminars, guest lectures, hands-on training, internship programs, national and international seminars, conferences, webinars, workshops, rural camps, field visits, extension activities, project writing, science and art exhibitions, group discussions, quiz competitions, and more. These initiatives create a vibrant academic environment that fosters knowledge sharing and practical learning experience for students. Furthermore, both faculties and students are strongly encouraged to participate and organize programs through esteemed organizations such as ISTE, IEI, IIC, ICT, EDC, NPTEL, as well as online courses. These platforms provide additional avenues for professional development, networking, and staying updated with the latest advancement in their respective fields. By actively engaging in these activities, our institution cultivates a culture of continuous learning and holistic development. Extracurricular activities play a vital role in our education system as they allow students to engage in learning experiences beyond the confines of the classroom. At our institution, we place great emphasis on motivating students to observe and celebrate significant days that hold cultural and social importance. Throughout the academic year, students actively participate in commemorating important occasions such as Foundation Day of the University on 26th of January, the Feast of St.Joseph, the patron saint of the university, on 19th of March, International Women's Day, Teachers' Day, Science Day, Engineering Day, Annual Sports Meet, Annual Cultural Ethnic Day, Freshers' Day, World Mental Health Day, Blood Donation Day, Environment Day, Festival of all departments, Christmas celebration, and many more. The celebrations serve as opportunities for students to explore their identities and express themselves. Moreover, we strongly believe in instilling social responsibility and empathy among our students. To achieve this, we actively encourage their involvement in various social work and services. Our institution provides platforms such as the National Service Scheme, NSS, Youth Red Cross, Red Ribbon Club, Eco Club, and many more, through which students can actively engage in community services and contribute to the betterment of society. These activities not only develop their social consciousness but also enhance their leadership skills and foster a sense of empathy and compassion. By actively participating in extracurricular activities and engaging in social services, our students become well-rounded individuals who are not only academically proficient but also socially aware and responsible citizens. The placement sale and the training sale of our institution diligently arrange frequent and career guidance sessions and placement training programs conducted by industry experts. These initiatives involve establishing connections with diverse organizations and industries. And we currently maintain active ties with 15 companies. The objective of the university is not only imparting education but also to create, nurture, and nourish a creative mind that is dedicated for the holistic student development with good personality, attitude, character, and personal value and God-fearing, which are very much essential for the future society to create fully human, fully alive. Thank you.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Alamullah Waling to provide an overview of our conference.
Good morning, everybody. Respected Dr. Bhagirati Banda, Director, ICSSR, Regional Office, Northeastern Region, Shillong, our Vice Chancellor, esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, dignitaries, higher authorities of the university, Director of IQAC, members of the organizing committee, HODs, faculty members, paper presenters, and the participants. It is indeed an honor to be standing here on behalf of the organizers to address this galaxy of academicians, erudite scholars, researchers, and innovators on the second International Conference on Multidisciplinary Research and Innovation. I would like to begin by briefly reflecting on the success of our first international conference, which was held on 9th and 10th of November 2023 at St.Joseph University, Chumagadima. Last year's conference brought together 300 researchers, academicians, and industrial professionals from around and across the country, fostering a rich exchange of ideas, knowledge, culture, and collaborations. The first conference featured 2 keynote speakers, 5 plenary speakers, 5 technical sessions, 131 paper and poster presentations, covering an array of topics from varied disciplines. As an outcome, we were pleased to see the publication of conference proceeding with ISBN and other research collaborations. Building on the momentum of our first conference, we are delighted
to host this second international conference on multidisciplinary research and innovations focused on the theme Trends and Innovation in Academia. This sequel conference aims to explore the transformative landscape of academia, where trends and innovations are redefining the frontiers of knowledge and hence expanding our scope to address the emergent issues in multidisciplinary fields like science, engineering, social science and humanities, business and management, education and learning. The 21st century had witnessed unprecedented advancement in technology, globalization and societal needs, and with the belief that academia must adapt to these shifts in paradigm, the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of St.Joseph University has called out for this second international conference. The IQAC St.Joseph University is not only a committee, but it is a participative and facilitative unit that closely work with the teaching fraternity to plan out strategies to assess and evaluate and bring improvement and positive impact of learning, teaching on the students as well as the institution. Thus, with the blessings of our Chancellor, Reverend Father Dr. J.E. Arul Raj, and the management, the IQAC is pleased to introduce the second international conference on the theme Trends and Innovation in Academia. In this 2-day program, we will engage with renowned experts, thought leaders, researchers, and scholars from diverse disciplines, featuring our special guest keynote speaker, Dr. Bhagarati Banda, Director, ICSSR, Regional Office, Northeastern Region, Shillong, and valedictory speaker, Professor A. Ilaya Berumal, Director, National Institute of Technology, Nagaland. We also are blessed with 4 dynamic plenary speakers from China, Oman, and parts of India. There will be 10 parallel technical sessions with 101 paper and poster presentations from 225 authors and co-authors collectively. Our program today features the inaugural session, which will then be followed by 2 plenary sessions and 5 parallel technical sessions with 53 paper presentations. So as we embark on this intellectual journey together to explore, to innovate, to transform and redefine academia, I urge each and every one of you to engage, to inspire, be inspired, and create a lasting impact. Looking forward to another productive and inspiring conference. Let this conference be a resounding success. Thank you.
I appreciate your thoughtful overview, Dr. Alamanla. Your introduction was engaging and informative. Now, please join with me in welcoming our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. D. Nanadurai, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning. Today's special guest, Dr. Bhagirathi Banda, Director, ICSSR Regional Office, Northeast Region, and his lady wife, guest speakers, higher functionaries of the university, sisters and fathers, faculty members, participants, and my dear students. A very good morning to you all. So I'm really very happy to stand before you in the inaugural function of second International Conference on Multidisciplinary Research and Innovation, which is being organized by IQAC cell. As outset, I would like to express my gratitude to the chief guest for accepting our invitation in spite of his busy schedule. Thank you very much, sir. And also, I would like to thank all the organizers of this conference. In this context, I would share some of my ideas about the multidisciplinary research. See, previously, some 10 years, 20 years back, we were talking about interdisciplinary. Now we are slightly shifting to a new word, multidisciplinary. The reason for this one is the technological advancement. Because nowadays, a research scholar or any candidate who is undergoing a bachelor or master's or even a PhD degree should have a thorough knowledge in so many disciplines. That is very much important. 20 or 30 years back, the research means it is a very narrow field. Then a candidate who is possessing the PhD degree can understand only a small or narrow field knowledge only. But nowadays it is not like that. For example, you see, the study about the climate change. Nowadays, so many bachelor level and master level degrees are there, climate change. So we cannot identify this discipline, climate change, either in arts or science or engineering. We cannot identify because in our educational system, we are having so many categories. This is engineering, this is management, this one is science, arts, humanities, so many divisions we are having. But these divisions are not visible in the developed countries. They are talking about only bachelor degree or master's degree or the PhD degree, that's all. They are not categorizing whether it is concerned with science, arts or engineering like that. Here in our educational system also, the UGC has introduced, due to the introduction of National Educational Policy, they have clearly mentioned that whenever you are awarding the degree should be Bachelor in History, Bachelor in Zoology, like that only, or Bachelor degree in Electronics Engineering. Previously, what is the system we are having is that is a Bachelor of Arts, English, Bachelor of Science, Zoology. Since we are going towards the concept of multidisciplinary, there is no division. All the things are knowledge. As I said, that climate change involves many disciplinaries, science, social science, and sociology, politics, economics, because this climate change study is having an impact, or for studying the climate change, one should know all about these disciplines. What is the impact of climate change in economics? What is the impact the climate change in the human lifestyle? What is the impact in engineering and technology? So many things are there. That is why nowadays we are very much keen about this multidisciplinary research area. Not only like this, I can give one more example. Some 20, even 30 years back, if you buy a car, 90% of the car is from the mechanical equipment. Only 10% may be electrical. Now the percentage is slowly changing. Now in a car, only 40% is mechanical, 20% is electrical, and another 20% is electronics, and another 30%, another 20% is the information and technology. That is connecting with GPS, connecting with internet, so many things are there. In future, the mechanical part of this car, again, it will come down for 10%. Now we are going towards the electric car. It is battery operated, unmanned car, so many things are there. So slowly, the equipments we are using, all the things, the mode and also so many things is slowly changed. Similarly, robotics, it involves mechanical, mechatronics, electronics, information technology, and also the drones we are using. So many disciplinary knowledge we need. So a person who is graduated or post-graduated should have a knowledge at least 3 or 4 disciplines. Of course, in one discipline they should have a deep knowledge, but they should have a good knowledge in at least 3 or 4 related disciplines. Then only nowadays we can survey, because the technological growth is like that only. I think in this scenario, hosting such type of multidisciplinary research conference is very much suitable for this scenario. In this context, again, tell one more thing to the paper presenters. It is a caution to all the paper presenters. 2 weeks back, I happened to get a research paper from one of the reputed journal for review. Then I have gone through that one. Then just I put one paragraph in a Google search. Then the paragraph was directed towards ChatGPT. The entire phrases are available in ChatGPT. See, nowadays, the researcher paper presentation and how they are preparing is a question mark. So my dear paper presenters, be cautious about that. You can use the advanced technology like ChatGPT for getting knowledge, for getting information, but don't use it for presenting your paper. It will degrade your quality of research. It is very, very important, because nowadays, all the things are available in our fingertips. In our days, when we were doing our PhD in engineering, we used to travel to Delhi or Chennai or Calcutta to visit the laboratory, that is a library available in the IITs, to get a single paper. Nowadays, it is very easy. Even in IEEE, you can click a button, you can download the IEEE papers and all the things. So these are all the technical developments which undergo. You just think, what is the outcome of the research? What is the impact of the outcome of the research in the society? That is very much important. Because when compared to the developed countries, our research outcome is somewhat inferior. The reason is the objective of our research is very confined one, or very, that is a narrow one. 90% of the researchers' objective is they should publish some papers, then afterwards they should write a thesis, then it should be presented, and they should get a PhD degree. With that PhD degree, they could get a good job. That's the thing. That should not be the objective. Of course, it is your personal objective, but the main objective of the research should be, the outcome of the research should have its own impact on the society. It should address to solve the problem in the society. It should address to solve the technical solution for a problem. In that way, your research should be there. So my dear paper presenters and all the participants, to make use of these 2 days and learn more and share your thoughts among yourself regarding the research. I think this, again, I thank all the organizers of this the international conference, and I wish this international conference a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your presidential address. Marking a significant milestone in our event, We will now release the souvenir. This souvenir serves as a reminder of our institution's commitment to excellence. This publication showcases our achievements and milestones over the year. This souvenir is a testament to our collective effort and success. As we release the souvenir, I call up to the stage our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Deputy Registrar, our delegate, Professor Bhakarati Panda, the COE of our university, conference convener, IQAC director, and campus administrator. Please come up to the stage. It is a testament to human collaboration and progress. May this souvenir motivate us to achieve even more in the years to come. It is an honor for me to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Bhakarati Panda, the Director of ICSSR Regional Office, Northeastern Region, currently working as a Professor of Economics, Northeastern Hill University, and Honorary Director of ICSSR in NARC Shillong. Earlier, he was also the Dean of the School of Economics, Management and Information Sciences, and Head of the Department of Economics, Northeastern Hill University, Shillong. Professor Banda was also the faculty of IIM Shillong. He is an Asia Fellow of Asian Scholarship Foundation, Bangkok, and in his capacity worked as a visiting fellow in Thammasat University, Thailand, and Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok during the year 2003. He has more than 30 years of teaching experience and along with research in different universities and colleges of the country and abroad, and has also published a number of research articles in different national and international journals. And he is a renowned expert in various areas as well. Now I call up to the stage our keynote speaker, Professor Bhakarati Panda, to come up and share his insights.
This wonderful morning, Honorable Vice Chancellor of this prestigious university, Professor Anadurai, the Registrar, Deans, Director IQAC, all the esteemed functionaries of this university, faculty members, resource persons, invited guests, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor on my part to be with all of you in this very renowned institution, although it had just started, even not 10 years, 1 decade, but then as I was listening to the Director IQAC and also the the Vice Chancellor, I think in a very short span of time, your effort is really, really praiseworthy. I understand that you have so many challenges, but then in days to come, this institution will play a very critical role when it comes to higher education in this part of the country and even in the entire country. So with this very introduction, let me directly go to the topic. So my topic on which I would like to, reflect upon. The title, I'm going to say the main theme of this second international seminar is multidisciplinary research and innovation. Friends, I think as Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir was telling, we are graduating from one set of arrangement to another set of arrangement, from a rigid curriculum arrangement to what we call multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary arrangement in higher education, which also includes teaching as well as research. Can you just start with the PowerPoint? It is there. First, I think let's go to the first slide. Now, let me just start with a brief background of research, and teaching in higher education and development. The frontiers of knowledge is now evolving over time and space, and there's a need for research. I will contextualize it whenever it's required. Teaching and research today are becoming much more, complementary and supplementary to each other. I will give a lot of examples. Today we talk about development and developmental studies. I think the moment we talk about development studies, it has, this interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary arrangement. I will speak a little later on multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary, the basic difference between these two. But then let me just give you some examples so that you can all understand how things are moving. All of us work as academicians, researchers in the field of development. And when it comes to development, I think we see development includes insights, perspectives, axioms, principles, which you derive from, from different disciplines and subjects. For example, let's talk about rural development. If someone would like to be called a rural developmental specialist or a researcher, can he or she be called a real developmental specialist in the rural society without having an understanding of different dynamics, social, cultural, economic, technological, environmental dynamics of the rural setup? Normally, traditionally, what has happened in our country, that the moment we talk about development, or for that matter rural development, we think, it's only the job of the economists or technocrats. But then, no economist, no technocrat can give a viable and efficient solution to rural pressing problems without having a sound understanding of its polity, the social dynamics there itself, its sociology, its environmental base, its cultural practices, which is very true in the context of, societies in Lagana or in many of our northeastern societies. So unless one has a very deep understanding or insights of the different kind of practices in the rural economy, rural society, one will never be able to give a very efficient, viable, critical model of rural development. That's where multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary approach in research and teaching comes to play a role. Now, let me just highlight briefly the importance of research in development. The first thing which comes to my mind is the kind of connect between theory and empirics. Many of us sitting in this hall happen to be teachers. Now, when we teach our students, I teach economics, development economics primarily to my students. Now, when I teach my students different theories, principles, axioms, perspectives in development economics, I think that kind of a teaching becomes much more interesting if I can connect the theory and the empirics or the practice. Then it becomes much more interesting and it adds value to the students. Vice Chancellor sir was talking about the impact of research on society. I think we won't be able to understand the criticality of research and its finding on the society unless we understand the connect between theory and practice or theory and empirics. Let me give you some concrete examples, how they are all related. I think in 60s, late 50s and late 60s, in our own country, a lot of steel plants, they came into existence through public participation, I think through government initiative. Bhilai, Durgapur, Raurkela and many more. Now, do you think that all these steel plants came up all on a sudden because our political masters or our bureaucrats thought, or policymakers, they thought that these steel plants should come and we would need to have them for progress? No, it didn't come that way. Behind the establishment of these steel plants, which we call a developmental practice or developmental initiative, a lot of theoretical works of prominent developmental practitioners and economists have gone through. I can cite two of the famous economists. One is Arthur Lewis, and his theory, I think those who belong to the faculty of economics here, they must be knowing the theory of development propounded by Arthur Lewis, where he says, I think if the countries do not, I think developing countries which do not have much of capital, they can create capital by transferring the surplus manpower in the rural society to the urban economy. And if the urban economy is not there, let's create that urban economy by means of manufacturing sector. So that is surplus manpower in the rural sector, in the agrarian economy, be transferred out to the manufacturing sector in the urban economy. Because it was found through research that many such countries, particularly labor surplus countries, high population countries, I think a lot of manpower in agriculture, they remain surplus. So by transferring them from the rural sector to the urban sector, or if urban sector is not, create that urban sector, create that manufacturing space, transfer the surplus labor to the manufacturing sector, and whatever they do produce extra in this manufacturing sector, that becomes the genesis of, that brings you the genesis, the origin of capital and its further expansion, and that helps in development. That's one theory. The other theory, which was I think responsible for having this kind of a development practice to have a lot of steel plants in our country, was Hirschman's theory of unbalanced growth. That theory basically says that if a country, see in developing countries at that point of time, let's talk about the 50s situation. A country like us or even China, they didn't have that much of surplus capital to go for, I think, pursuing n number of activities, I think at a particular point of time. They had capital deficiency, and that's why whatever limited capital they did have at that point of time, that capital was required to be judiciously invested, and that's why prioritization of the activities, the sectors where capital can be invested was required. And that's why through research, Hirschman found out that it's the steel sector, it's the coal sector, which do have the maximum linkage effect. So let's spend more on these sectors initially to the linkage effect other sectors will come up. So based on these two important theories, I think setting up a lot of steel plants in our country, I think in late 50s and 60s happened. So here you can understand the synergy, the connect between theory and practice or empirics. You have a theory. Many times we teach our students theory in isolation of its relevance for policy. The moment you connect them, it becomes much more interesting for their students. One more example. I may skip some of these things because of the paucity of time, but let me give you concrete examples so that our students, our young research class can be much more sensitized to the imperative of connecting between theory and practice. One more example. NRG, I think many of you have heard about it. Manrega, Narega, it's known in different names. I was a committee member of Government of India in 3 committees at one, and I think from 2007 to 2013. And I have traveled almost 22 states across the country. And I was very, very grossly engaged with respect to evaluation, impact assessment, preparing some of the guidelines with respect to NRG, along with the big names in the country. So it was a learning experience for me. Now, when this program was subsequently being analyzed, its impact was being evaluated, then we tried to impress upon the government of India, I think government functionaries, and they are very happy to accept our suggestion that let's not evaluate the impact of this program only in the plane of income or employment, which was traditionally being done. Let's see, this program was recast in a broader framework of a theory developed by many economists, but one such famous economist was Amartya Sen, and Sen's theory of capability expansion for development. Now, Sen, basically what he said in that capability expansion theory of development, he says development is not about only income, which earlier, I think, economist, developmental practitioners has hypothesized. He said, no, income is just a means, it's not an end. The end of any development is human welfare. It's all about, and that human welfare happens by expanding the capability vector of individuals and communities. How do we expand the capability vector of individuals and communities? You do it by providing them better education, providing them better empowerment, training, skill. These are all, I think, arrangements through which you improve upon the capability arrangement, the capability basket of an individual and also the community or the society. So that's development. Income is just means to an end. The end is human welfare. And Narega, when we were, I think, revamping and giving our own suggestions, we wanted that Narega should be, I think, recast, I think, in the framework of sense capability expansion theory. And then subsequently, when a number of research programs all across the country were all initiated by Government of India to understand the impact of NREGA, then other dimensions, non-income dimensions like empowerment, participation, impact on the environment, environmental, I think, impact of this program. So these social capital formation, migration, so these elements were all brought in as different domains, I think, on which the impact of this program NREGA can be evaluated. So that's, look at, friends, the connect between theory and, I think, policy, or for that matter, empirics. That means you have a theory called sense theory of development based on capability expansion. And that theory led to revamping of a developmental practice called Manrega. Similarly, you can get 100 such. Microcredit, for example, is another, microcredit, microfinance is another example how theory and practice both have come together to give this development practice of improving or empowering women through microcredit revolution, microfinance revolution. So we will get 100 such examples wherein theories, axioms, principles which are taught in the classroom, I think they have very, some kind of a direct and many times also indirect relationship with developmental practice. The moment we teach our students by bringing in wherever possible this important connect, the classroom becomes much more useful, and that gives you a lot of insights to understand the impact of many of these research, for example, on the society. Now, today why research has become so important, and then multidisciplinary research or interdisciplinary research, why it's so important today. One of the prime reasons for research becoming so important today is the what you call the revival of developmentalism all across the world. There's a revival of developmentalism, and that's basically because sustainable development today is the, I think, prime concept and practice of development. Development 60 years back, 70 years back was thought in terms of only income. Today, development is not all about income. Yes, income is required. There are three important dimensions of sustainable development today. Earlier it was only one dimension, that is the income dimension. Create income, rest of the problems of the society can be taken care of by increasing income. But subsequently we understood the deficiency of income. There are countries in the world, for example Gulf countries, they do have, the per capita income is very high. They have good amount of income. But when it comes to the gender empowerment, for example, empowerment of the women, in many Gulf countries, you see huge deficiency with respect to women's empowerment. So income doesn't necessarily lead to more of development, particularly in the empowerment dimension. Similarly, countries are there like South Africa. South Africa's per capita income is comparatively high, vis-a-vis, let's say, many of the developing countries. But when it comes to its health situation, the health infrastructure, it's not better than some of the developing countries, like for example China, India, or even at one point of time Sri Lanka. So the point is here, friends, that income doesn't necessarily lead to development in terms of some other non-income dimensions of development. So there are hundreds such examples all across the world, you will find it out. So that brings us to this perspective that sustainable development is not all about income. Yes, one dimension of sustainable development is income generation, because goods and services are to be created, income is to be promoted, and employment is to be created. That's only one dimension. The other two important dimensions of sustainable development happens to be social sustainability and environmental sustainability. I mean, what do we mean by social sustainability? It's all about, development is not all about this income being created or employment being created. Yes, they are required. But it's also equally important, how are they created? How do they come through? Do they come through the participation of the large mass of the people? It's only done through selective sections of the society. So that element of participation is very, very important in the development or sustainable development. It's all about creating that network, the network of different stakeholders in the development, creating that social capital in development. So these are all important requirements which lead to social improvement or takes care of the social dimension of sustainable development. Then we have the third dimension, which I think Vice Chancellor Sir was talking about, climate change, environment. I think you may have all your materialistic achievements, but if it comes at the cost of environment and also the needs of the future generation, that development is not sustainable. That's why today we face, I think, the catastrophe which comes in the form of climate change. That's why, friends, the concept of development today has moved from economic growth to sustainable development. Now, in that context, realizing these sustainable development goals are very, very critical for every society, particularly the societies or countries in the developing and emerging economies. And that's why there is at the world level, there is this requirement of realizing as much as possible the critical benchmarked values in 17 dimensions of sustainable development. And that's why sustainable development assumes a lot of importance. And then the other requirement is democratizing development, not concentration, democratizing development. It's still an unequal world, all of you can see. So the pursuit should be through research, how to make the world more equitable so that it's not an unequal world. And the third thing is the climate change and the situations like COVID-19 which you have faced. So all of them taken together actually has created a situation where there is a imperative, critical need of undertaking more of research on these dimensions. That's why research today assumes much more important. And one more factor actually for which research is very multidisciplinary research is very, very important is today is what we call today the emergence of technology. Okay, I think no subject today, I think, doesn't have a relevance. No subject, no research today is complete without understanding the impact of technology. Let me bring you this concept of creative destruction, which an economist called Schumpeter, I think, long back has given. The concept is creative destruction. Schumpeter, an economist, renowned economist, who said that development, economic development happens through entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurs bring in development through this practice of creative destruction. What is this creative destruction? Creative destruction is all about creatively destroying an existing arrangement of production of goods or services and bringing in a new commodity, a new service, and creatively destroying the existing one. The best example of creative destruction will be today with respect to, let's say, for example, mobile technology, mobile phones. Today, you have a mobile phone based on a particular technology. After 1 month, you find that's dated. New technology, based on new technology, a new mobile phone has come. And today, this practice of this is called creative destruction. That means creatively entrepreneurs would like to destroy an existing arrangement, an existing type of production, bring in a new one. And that's not confined only to commodities. It's also, I think, going to the services sector. Look at the competition amongst bankers happening, the way the bankers provide services, insurance, or any other financial product, or even tourism products, for example. Today, one banker says, fine, our personal relation manager can go to your home and provide you these kind of services. The other banker competes. So there are having innovative ways of serving the customer. So this is called creative destruction. Creatively we destroy an existing arrangement of a product or way of service provision and bring in a new one. And that creative destruction, when Schumpeter said, was incremental, gradual. It's happening gradually. I think all of us know, so we used to see those TV, advertisement at one point of time when in South Indian families a TV was brought in, then it was being worshipped with all kinds of fanfare. And because the TV used to last for 10 years. Today you just see, any TV comes after a year or two, I think almost a year, it's gone, a new TV comes in with new technology and interface, different kind of interface. So creative destruction, which was earlier incremental, gradual, has become today seamless. It has its advantage, it has also its ethical dilemma, which you are now struggling with and going to struggle with in days to come also. I'll talk about that later on. So development happens through creative destruction. And today, I think creative destruction is seamless. And societies, countries, economies, which are able to, I think, leverage technology, R&D, innovation to the maximum extent, will always be a winner. And societies which will not be able to do that to that extent will always be losers. So that's the kind of environment which is coming up. And that's where research is required. We need to research, we need to innovate. And creative destruction happens through innovation, R&D. And innovation happens through, I think, spending more and more and creating that ecosystem of, efficient R&D. And that's the core of bringing in more of innovation. And that's why we require more of research. Then in social sciences, for example, why research is so important today, and particularly multidisciplinary research. One of the reasons, if you look at in the context of the Northeast, some of these public welfare programs, okay, they do not achieve their desired result. Primarily, there are various reasons. One of the reasons is that many of these programs and policies are formulated, framed based on the a priori understanding of the bureaucrats. They are not based on evidence-based research undertaken by independent, renowned researchers. So there is not much of research to back the kind of policy initiatives which are all being undertaken by policymakers in this part of the country. That's why these policies, either they fail or they become suboptimal. So that's why there is a need, particularly in this part of the country, to undertake more and more critical, efficient, multidisciplinary research, interdisciplinary research to back up, I think, future efficient policy making. So that's where actually there is a need for, I think, research. Then the other thing is development is all about developing what you call appropriate structure and agency. And this is very contextual in this part of the country. I mean to say, we have, many of our societies still, as I said, they're unequal. I'm saying unequal in many dimensions. Okay. And that is where actually we require what we call, for example, developing that agency, I think, which will give that kind of an enabling role, I think, in terms of governance, better community enabling role to empower the poor, the needy, the marginalized. And that's where more and more research is also required. The last part, when it comes to social science or even research in even technology or even physical and natural sciences also is important, is all about understanding research as a process rather than simply as a situation. Many times in social sciences, when you ask the students to undertake some research and then come out with findings, what they do, they just make a situational analysis. For example, poverty. Somebody does research on poverty. So he or she would come up, oh, this is the percentage of people who are poor in this part of the country, in this district, that's the percentage. There actually the percentage is so much, it's so less, it's so more, like that, normally. So it's basically a descriptive study. It's not that it's not required. To start with, it's required. You have to understand the description, you have to give a description, understanding the situation of poverty in this part of the country with respect to its different dynamics. But the prime question here is all about, why does poverty persist? That's the reason. So the moment you think about doing more of research on the reasons for continuity of poverty, and why does one part of the region is prone to more poverty compared to the other region, then you are going into what we call the process analysis. That identifying the factors which are responsible for continuity of poverty in certain parts of the country or region is called the process, understanding the process research, which is different from the situation research. So as it stands today, many of the research which happens in this part of the country, particularly in social sciences, they are primarily situation research. What we need is go for more of process research, identify the process, the reasons for certain phenomena continuing or persisting in the space of development. So these are some of the reasons for which I think research is very, very important in this part of the country, and particularly multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research, which is the broad theme and the prime theme of this seminar. Now, that's I think I don't want to get into much into. In fact, actually, when I see the broad theme of this topic, multidisciplinary research, I think they mean both multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. But then, although there is a difference between multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research, but let me not go into those kind of things. Primarily, actually, the essence of multidisciplinary research is multiple disciplinary goal setting under one thematic umbrella, whereas when it comes to interdisciplinary research, the core of interdisciplinary research is development of integrated knowledge. I think interdisciplinary is more into, it's more intense way of different subject experts coming together with their insights, and then based on that, bringing in a new domain of knowledge, subsequently, which becomes, let's say, for example, a new branch of study. For example, neuroscience. For example, I think all these biophysics, biotechnology, Or in economics, for example, I'm saying social sciences, international relations, diaspora study, for example. These new topics which come up actually, they are more, they come through an interdisciplinary teaching research arrangement. I'm not discussing much on it, but then the theme of this very seminar, as I understand, includes both the multidisciplinary and the interdisciplinary approaches in development. I have already discussed about this humanitarian concept of creative destruction and the criticality of R&D. And let me just give you a little bit of insight where we stand when it comes to the innovation index, the global innovation index. When it comes to the global innovation index, we as a country, although I'm saying we are still miles to go, but then during the last 10-11 years, we have made very significant progress. Today, the latest data says 2024 Global Innovation Index puts India as number 39 in the World Global Innovation Index rank. In 2014-15, it was, I think, 82 or 83. But then from that position, 82, 83, we have significantly improved our rank, and today it's 39. But then we have to do a lot more. If you look at this, I think there is, if you look at the data, I think it's not here. I can show you, I can tell you that a country like South Korea, it's a small country, Israel, they rank above us. I think they come in the first 10 kind of a rank. So although we have made significant progress and we are making significant progress when it comes to innovation, and that's measured in terms of innovation index, but then compared to even smaller countries like Singapore or for that matter South Korea or and then Israel, we are much below. So there actually I think we have to do a lot, but then we're in the right track and making much more improvement when it comes to our improve our innovation arrangements. Now let me give you, having said that also, if you look at the top 10 leaders in R&D investment, because innovation happens to research and development. Now look at the data, the world data, what it shows actually, as you can see, United States of America is on the top, followed by China, then Japan, then Germany, South Korea, and then France, and after that India. But then in absolute amount, as you can see, I think our investment is not that much, although we are progressing, but we need to do much more there itself. Things are improving, but then it hasn't gone to that extent that, I think what countries like United States of America or China or even for that matter, Japan, they are all doing when it comes to expenditure in R&D, research and development. Now, let me give you some other, little bit of data to compare. India spends less than 1% of its GDP on R&D. Okay, 1% of its GDP, less than 1% of its GDP on R&D. And to be precise, for the last 30 years, our expenditure on R&D as a percentage of GDP is hovering 0.6 to 0.8%. The latest one is and I'm told this time it has, I'm told actually the latest data says it has almost approached 1%, but then it's less than 1%. But then for 30 years, it was hovering around this 0.6 to 0.8%. Whereas small countries like South Korea, it's more than 4%. Israel, more than 4%. United States of America, more than 2%. China, more than 2%. So all this speaks of the fact that we need to now spend more than, I think, 1%. I think at least maybe 2% kind of a thing or 3% kind of a thing of our GDP on R&D. How do we do it? That's, I think, that we have to think about it through public-private participation. How to do it? That's the mechanism we have to find it out. Of course, discussions and initiatives are being undertaken at the highest level now to improve upon the expenditure on R&D. Then there are some, I would say, comparisons. All these comparisons show, as you can see, whether it is patents, with the publications, citations, things are fast improving for our country, but in many such dimensions, which are all related to innovation, and R&D, I think we are yet to, achieve the level that even some of the smaller countries like South Korea, or for that matter, I mean to say Israel have achieved. Now look at actually another comparison, a comparison of academic papers, I think, produced. I think you can see here itself, China tops the world now. USA is the next. India is third, fast improving, but then again below United States of America and China, but then very fast improvement is happening during the last 6 to 7 years. Very fast improvements happening when it comes to, I think, the number of academic papers published and also the number of citations that being cited. Now, so these are all some of this data I just wanted to share before you, which has a hope, which has also a challenge. The hope is that things are improving. The silver lining is that things are improving, and the challenge is that we need to make it really global. And considering the size of our economy and the country, I think we need to scale it up. Then let me give a little bit of understanding about social science research and the organization which I'm a part of, that particularly the northeastern part of that organization. So social science, to promote social science, not only in terms of its theory, in terms of its practice also, and particularly to give, I think, enlightened, informed input to government on social science matters, which have its own impact on society. ICSSR was formed, and then it has 6 regional offices. You can all see that itself. It has 6 regional offices. Now, the primary objective of ICSR has been, as you can see here itself on the screen, to review and survey the progress of social science research and advise the government on policy issues, to fund and promote social science research in universities, colleges, and research institutes, to award doctoral, postdoctoral, senior, and national fellowships to researchers and faculties, and to award minor, major, and collaborative research projects to researchers and faculties. So that has, these are all prime objectives of ICSSR, although there are from time to time specific, on specific issues with specific objective, these programs of research, they're all undertaken by ICSR. Then there are some more objectives also: to fund national and international seminars, conferences to disseminate social science research findings, to support training capacity building programs like research methodology courses also we do undertake. Similarly, we also provide, particularly our daily office, they provide travel grant to researchers who would like to go for data collection to different other parts of the world, different countries. Then it also encourages international collaboration in terms of its own collaborative arrangement, which it has established with many of the major countries of the world. Then also, ICSR also funds publication of quality journals and books. You can see many of the journals across the country published by ICSR-sponsored research institutes, or for that regional centers, and even otherwise also many of the journals brought out by universities and leading, I think, academic institutions in social science, they're also sponsored by ICSSR. Then we also provide grant for library, documentation, data, and online services. And there are, I think a lot of data, what you call, lot of those, data, softwares, which are also there itself with ICSR, and through its own arrangement also, the researchers have the opportunity to download them and go through them also. Then I'll just show you some of the cardinal achievements of ICSR. You can all see itself. We have sponsored 4,162 seminars. Then so many, almost more than 1,000 international seminars. Then more than 6,793 major, minor, and collaborative research projects. Doctoral fellowships given more than almost like 9,000. Postdoctoral fellowships like almost like 2,500. Senior fellowships like almost like 800. National fellowship is 174. Funding of scholars for attending seminars and conferences almost like more than 2,000. And then similarly, I think you can all see, and financial support to social science journals has been more than 1,000. So these are some of the cardinal achievements of ICSR during, I must say, its last, half a century of its existence. And then some of the recent initiatives of ICSR to promote research, it's all up, see, you might have seen these days the advertisements. And herein actually I would urge our young researchers and even experienced researchers that we have a very interactive website. There is no, I'm saying the head office website, and major minor projects are mostly sponsored by ICSR Delhi, the head office. And you can apply online with a hard copy subsequently sent by post. And these days actually the frequency for the last 2 years, the frequency and the frequency of advertisement for seeking applications for major research projects and minor research projects has significantly increased in terms of seeking applications for various projects. Very recently, for example, one of the important domain on which ICSR is focusing is all about sponsoring major research projects, particularly on undertaking impact assessment of almost I think 764 public welfare programs which are being undertaken all across the country by Government of India. So, and that's why a couple of months back there was a special initiative to sponsor short-term empirical research projects. Then normal, major and minor research projects are also every year they're announced. Calls for call for them also are sought. Then there are special corporate studies on the culture, history, geography of different, particularly scheduled tribe and scheduled tribe dominated areas. For example, I think Northeast is very, very important here itself. Many of our tribal societies, they do have a rich past. They do have a rich past, but they don't have a history. Many times that past is not captured in terms of written history. And that's where ICSR now focuses to, I think, document, to do more research with respect to the cultural practices, the unwritten history of many of the tribal societies of our country. ICSR, I think in days to come also will find more such advertisements coming in seeking applications for, research. Then I think during COVID-19 also, ICSR played a very positive role to understand the I think this is where a multidisciplinary research comes in, and ICSR is now encouraging multi-domain, multidisciplinary research, that researchers from different disciplines, not only from social sciences, even from the field of technology, from the field of natural sciences, coming together and undertaking. And that's where actually today also, earlier actually we used not to finance much humanities or, for example, sciences. Today, whenever such research proposals are coming, even from science institutes, technology institutes like NITs, IITs were also sponsoring, having at least some dimension, some linkage with social science or social practice. Yeah, this is what actually I think I could not show it earlier. I was talking about the Global Innovation Index, and you can see here itself, Switzerland tops. So many of the Nordic countries, they do top, okay. And even China occupies the rank 11. And you can see there itself, South Korea's small country's rank is 6 in the Global Innovation Index. South Korea's rank is 6. And then Israel's rank is 15, I think, and our rank is 39. And 10 years back, our rank was 82. So we have significantly improved from 82, we have improved to 39, and it's very fast happening. Hopefully, in days to come, it will be much more. I think it will be, I think in the first maybe 20, and after that maybe in the first 10 countries of the world. And let me just give you a little bit of idea about the innovation index score when it comes to the Northeast, isn't it? Niti Aayog, for the, I think 3 times it has brought up this innovation index for the whole country. Here is only one caveat, that smaller states cannot be compared with larger states. Northeastern states happen to be the smaller states. So with that caveat, if you make a comparison, I'm going to say in the country, many of the Northeastern states are much below the national average when it comes to the innovation index. And when it comes to the latest, innovation index 2021, which got published in 22 by Niti Aayog, you see in the Northeast actually there's a lot of, what you can say, that's a lot of variation. Manipur tops the one, but then with the current situation, whether it would continue to remain the top in the Northeast, that's a big question mark. Otherwise, Meghalaya ranks, I think, I think the lowest in this very index. And Nagaland, this position is number 6 in the Northeast. I think it needs to be significantly improved upon in days to come. So Northeast has to do a lot when it comes to improving its innovation score. Then there are some specific schemes to promote research. I'm not mentioning each one of them. One such important one, which has recently come up as a part of implementation of NEP 2020, is this, as you call ANRF, the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, which has recently come up. I think all of you might have heard of it. And under this umbrella, I think a huge pool of resources are being created for investment in R&D, wherein all kinds of research activities, natural sciences, social sciences, physical sciences will come together, and that will be the prime agency, I think, providing not only the seed money, expertise, and facilitating enabling role to promote more of research in the country. So this is a pioneering, initiative which has recently been taken by Government of India, and I hope in days to come, I think it will provide the necessary capability and the resources for expansion of research culture in our country. Then there are others like technology-based entrepreneurship, Vajra, then impacting research innovation, that is called IMPRIT second, IMPRIT first, and after that IMPRIT second. Then many more such imperatives, many more such schemes are there. Then SERB in sciences plays an important role. National Academy of Sciences, I think many of you know. So they all do play an important role when it comes to financing research activities and impacting R&D, and through that impacting the innovation arrangement in the country. Then finally, friends, let me end it off by saying this much, that see, as an economist, as a developmental practitioner, as a social scientist, having understood the very pulse of the Northeastern society, I have realized that there are, and in terms of my own research also, I have understood there are 3 things which are important for development of this part of the country. Who are they? One is, I think, infrastructure, which coming up very significantly during the last 10 years. In fact, one of the studies says during the last 10 years, 2014 to 2022 March end, the amount of investment which has happened in the northeastern part of the country on infrastructure development, which includes road infrastructure, physical infrastructure, railway infrastructure, airport infrastructure, water infrastructure, digital infrastructure, it has gone up by 285 times. Huge amount of investment has happened in the northeast, the country, more so in the northeast. So that has significantly improved upon the infrastructural arrangement in this part of the country, although many of them haven't reached yet the very interior parts of the northeast. But things are happening, okay, in the front of infrastructure. But then there also, the catch is that actually, if India is 100, okay, let's say road connectivity, let's say railway connectivity, or others also, irrigation, for example, another infrastructure. If India is 100, many dimensions of these infrastructure, the northeast is below 100. It's catching up. For example, when India is 100, let's say 20 years back, if India was 100 in railway connectivity, the northeast was, let's say, 50. Now that 50 has come to 70 or 72, like that. Similarly, in road infrastructure, banking infrastructure, insurance infrastructure, it's up. It hasn't reached the Indian average, but it's fast progressing to catch up with the Indian average. That's why there is a challenge, that's also a silver lining, that it's catching up very fast, but in many of such dimensions of infrastructure, it's still below the national average. But the positive thing is that it's catching up very fast with the national average. So things are happening on the infrastructure front. The other requirement for development is all about, I think, innovations. So 3 things are important in my understanding. When we were all students, we were all being taught that the underdevelopment of a part of a country or region or a society is primarily because of capital deficiency. That's what actually we are all taught as students. And the prevailing Western theories, they talked about that. See, when you apply the Western theories to a country like China, India, having so much of nuances of development, many times they do fail. And that exactly has happened. Today, for example, in the northeast, there is no dearth of capital. Look at the banks, private and public sector banks taken together. Banks are flooded with money. The CD ratio, what we call the credit to deposit ratio. That means out of every 100 rupees which the banks mobilize, only 39 rupees is given as credit or loans for investment in this part of the country. The rest amount goes for investment in other parts of the country. So capital deficiency being the reason for underdevelopment of this country, this part of the country, means Northeast, is not the prime reason. You have plenty of funds with the banks, but that's not invested here itself. You ask the bankers, why don't you give loans to the young aspiring entrepreneurs? The banks would say, we don't have demand. You ask the young entrepreneurs, I think willing entrepreneurs, probable entrepreneurs, they would say, sir, we have been to the bank. The bank say, no, we cannot give you loan because you don't have the required mortgage, the hypothecation, all this collateral kind of things. Now, where is the connect? So where is the disconnect? The disconnect not in terms of the economic factor. The disconnect is in terms of the institutional factors. That the property rights are all not defined. There is law and order problem. There is the rule of law is not being properly, I mean to say, implemented. There is corruption, nepotism. The enabling role from the government or other agencies is not, I think, that much efficient. The cost of transaction is high. The cost of negotiation of contracts are comparatively high. Enforcement of contracts is comparatively high. These lead to increase what in economics we call transaction cost of doing business. So it's primarily because of the high transaction cost that entrepreneurship is not happening. And that's primarily because of institutional factors, both formal and informal. Formal happens to be the government, the enabling role that government or I mean to say central government to state government to different layers of government they do play. And the informal institutions, sometimes the moorings, the culture, the values, the practices of certain societies. Some of them are pro-development, some of them are not pro-entrepreneurship. So the ones which are not pro-entrepreneurship needs to be taken care of. Okay. So primarily when you look at the northeastern situation, as I said, three things are very important for development. Infrastructure, which is coming up. Second is innovations, a lot needs to be done. And third is institutions. And when it comes to development of this part of the country, as a developmental practitioner, as a social scientist, as an economist, I see the continuity of relative underdevelopment in this part of the country is primary because of its institutional factors. You improve upon the institutional factor, I mean to say the enabling role of the government, the community, civil society, and different layers of government and government institutions, community arrangements, you would find there will be a significant improvement when it comes to delivery of development and legitimating entrepreneurship as the prime mover of economic activity of this part of the country. So with these words, I think I'm so happy that St. Joseph's University is organizing this very, very critical conference, second international conference on the importance of multidisciplinary research, I mean to say, for development and contextualizing it with innovation and development. And at the end of the day, all of us work in the field of development. Let me end up by quoting two lines from one of my favorite poet, S.W. Longfellow. And that poem, which I read long time back, still I think reverberates in my mind when he says, it's a psalm of life, where he says, I think, trust no future, however pleasant, act in the living present, heart within, God abhorrent. So the present is ours, and the present is full of opportunities and challenges. Let's maximize on the opportunities. Let's face the challenge with all conviction and the confidence. And the rest is, let's rest the rest on God. So with these words, I once again thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor, his whole team of researchers and administrators of this university, the resource persons, faculty members, for giving me this opportunity to share some of my own understanding, insights on this very important seminar theme. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights and thought-provoking address, which has enriched our conference. We appreciate your insightful keynote remarks and message. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your active participation in inaugural session. Now we will continue with the plenary session. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. S. Sashikumar, joining us virtually from Hunan University, Changsha, China. Dr. Sasikumar is a scientist who at present is a postdoctoral researcher in Hunan University, Changsha, China. His research interests are in the field of piezoelectric materials, ferroelectric materials, energy storage materials, and multiferrics. He had also worked in Kalasalingam Academy of Research and Education, Krishnankoil, Northwestern Polytechnical University, Jiang, China, Bokyong National University, Busan, South Korea, Korea Institute of Ceramic Engineering Technology, Jinju, South Korea. He has over 58 publications and 4 book chapters. Sir, kindly take the stage and tell us more on the topic, Advanced Piezoceramics for Novel Applications. Thank you, everyone. The inaugural session is now adjourned for the break. Now I kindly call upon all the dignitaries for a photo session. Let's kindly come up to the stage.
Sir, I am speaking, sir. Can you hear me in Google Meet? Okay, sir. So can I start now? Okay. So the good morning to all. So myself, Sasi Kumar, postdoctoral researcher from College of Material Science and Engineering, Hunan University in China. First of all, I thank to the convener of this program, International Conference on Multidisciplinary Research on Innovations. So today I am going to present a talk on advanced piezo ceramics for novel applications. So first, my PhD expertise is there. My PhD topic is synthesis and characterization of PaTaO3 based solid solution of lead-free piezo ceramics. And then after completing my PhD, I did my postdoctoral, another one postdoctoral in Korea, South Korea, and then now I am currently doing on the research in ferroelectric and piezoelectric properties of ceramics, lead-based and lead-free ceramics for sensors and actuator applications. Okay. Here is my outline of my presentation. First on introduction, and then introduction about the properties, piezoelectric, ferroelectric and pyroelectric properties, and what are the applications of piezoelectric ceramic materials, and then perovskite structure, introduction about perovskite, types of perovskite, and then experimental studies, sample preparation methods, and then there is some case studies of my research work, what I have done in my postdoctoral durations. Okay, first one is introduction. So what properties are we are reaching to get the material promising applications? First one is strength, hardness, flexibility, and then should be maintained with good property in the thermal, magnetic, and electrical property, stability of the material, catalyst, acidic or basic, reusability or eco-friendly with low cost. Based on the above properties, applying them in day-to-day materials. Then types of material. There are plenty of materials available. Different materials have different properties. For example, ionic crystal, covalent materials, metal and alloys, semiconductors, superconductors, polymers, composite materials, ceramic dielectrics, inorganic classes, and catalyst. Here, my specific topic is ceramics. That is another name is dielectric materials. So the dielectric classification is the dielectric materials are divided into two types: non-centrosymmetric material and centrosymmetric material. The centrosymmetric material doesn't have any good some properties because they have cubic-like natures. But non-centrosymmetric materials have different properties, piezoelectric properties, pyroelectric properties, and ferroelectric properties. This material have subdivided to four types: tungsten perovskite, polychloride structure, and bismuth layer. And then barium titanate, sodium potassium niobate, lead zirconate titanate, lead magnesium cyanide are the examples of the AbO3 perovskite structures. And then relationship. The piezoelectric property is mechanical force induces polarization reversal, and then pyroelectric property means that the thermal energy induces the polarization reversals, and the ferroelectric electric field induced polarization reversals. And then what are the applications of piezoelectric ceramics? Mainly, there are many energy sources. Mainly, energy harvesting is a hot topic, and then solar power and thermal power Also, the piezoelectric energy is also a energy harvesting method. And then these piezoelectric materials are mainly used in the cell-powered system for sensors. And then these are the various applications of piezoelectric piezoelectric materials in many devices like displays, mobile, medical, and robotic materials. Also used in high temperature applications like power plant, electric vehicle, aerospace and military aircraft. To meet the requirement, the material should be operated in high temperature. That piezoelectric materials we can operate in the high temperature applications also. What are the applications and the requirements and the parameters? The high strain and high power. Piezoelectric should be in high piezoelectric charge constant D33 value, and then bandwidth and sensitivity, electromechanical coupling factor, and then electrical impedance matching is a requirement. Another requirement is you should have the material should have high dielectric permittivity, and then acoustic power, that is power dissipation, should have high quality mechanical quality factor. These are the different types of already I mentioned the tungsten boson, bismuth layer structure, polychloride structure, and perovskite structure. These are the different types and the unit cells of the bismuth layered and the AbO3 structures. Here I deal with the perovskite structure. The perovskite structure is general formula is AbO3 structure. A is a large cation and B is a medium sized cation, and the oxygen is another anion. The B cation is octahedrally coordinated by some other oxygen anions. Okay, that ideal perovskite is a cubic crystal structure. Here I mentioned the cubic crystal unit cell of the barium titanate perovskite structure. Types of perovskite, the perovskite oxide perovskite, halide perovskites is AbH3 is another one, and then intrinsic perovskite, double and doped perovskites, and then 3-dimensional, 2-dimensional perovskites available in the halide perovskites. Okay, the material have first the property, analyzing the piezoelectric property. Most widespread use ferroelectric material is in electromechanical device via the piezoelectric effect. First one is that the piezoelectric is divided into two parts: direct piezoelectric effect and converse piezoelectric effect. The application of stress-induced polarization is direct piezoelectric effect, and the application of electric field-induced strain is converse piezoelectric effect. Okay. Then the D33 piezoelectric coefficient picocoulomb per Newton for direct piezoelectric effect, and then converse piezoelectric coefficient D33 star is picometer per volt. Okay, these are mainly obtained in mainly used in the lead-based material. The piezoelectric coefficient is very high in the lead-based material. Mainly common piezoelectric materials PZT, lead zirconate and titanate. It is an alloy of two compounds of alloy of two compounds PbTaO3 and BbZrO3. And then the high performance piezoelectric actuators, ferroelectric perovskite AbO3 alloys. Some of this here I mentioned some examples: PZT, and then PbTaO3, PbMgNbO3, and PbTaO3 bismuth scandium oxide. These solid solution systems show composition-driven interferroelectric stability in their respective composition, temperature, and phase diagram. Here I want to give the phase diagram for the morphotrophic phase boundary in PZT. Before the at 0.05 composition, the material have one property, and after the point composition, it has turned to tetragonal, another structure. But at the exact orthotrophic base boundary in BGAG at 0.05 have coexistence of one or two phases in the same material. This property, this morphotrophic base boundary have higher piezoelectric and ferroelectric properties compared to other ceramics. And then discovery of ultra high electrostain in lead-based ceramics. Okay, here I show the AC loops, stain versus electric field loops for bismuth BaLaFeO3 BBTO3 material. The D33 star value is around 1500 with the addition of the La content, and the maximum electrostain reported in lead-based piezo ceramics is approximately 0.03 to 0.04%. The stain value is higher, is obtained for these materials. And then my experimental part here I mentioned. Mainly I used the preparation method is solid state reaction method. Steps involved in solid state reaction method. First, I should weight the compositions according to the stoichiometric ratio, and then mol milled for 24 hours, and then again calcination for 850 degree, and to remove the volatile compositions in the material, and then again I have to ball mill for second time and dry, and then sintered for high temperature to make the very strong high density, and then polished in the surfaces, and applying the silver paste on the two surfaces. After that, going to subject into the electrical, piezoelectric and ferroelectric properties. Here I give some case studies of my lead-based materials. Here first I am going to talk about the bismuth scandium oxide BaTiO3 based ternary compounds with changes of the Ba content in the Ba content. Okay, then is a powder X-ray diffraction patterns of bismuth BSBT materials. First, the X-ray diffraction at 48 degree, there is a clear difference between the 002 and 200 peaks difference. It indicates the coexistence of rhombohedral and tetragonal phase in the same single material up to the X equal to 0.1 composition. After increase the dopant concentration, it turned into the tetragonal structure. So up to this point, this have a high enhanced ferroelectric and piezoelectric property compared to the single tetragonal phase compositions. Here I show the dielectric properties of BSBT BT ceramics, and then the TM, maximum dielectric permittivity, dielectric constant values are decreased when I increase the PA content. Here I show that one by one TCR, there is a Curie temperature of these prepared samples, BSBT samples. When I increase the BA, is decreasing, and then subjected to the dielectric constant and the values are subjected to the modified Curie-Weiss law, and then it gives the diffusion coefficient from the plot slope of the plot. It determines the relaxation property of these materials. Okay. So when I increase the PT amount in the maximum dielectric temperature TM value is decreasing, and also the relaxer property is increases. Okay. Next one is ferroelectric and electrostain properties. The hysteresis loops of the BSBT BT ceramics at the initial low composition of BA addition have higher P maximum polarization, remnant polarization, and higher D33. The D33 value indicates the piezoelectric coefficient, and the strain value. The strain value is there is a difference in the electric dipoles in the material up to 2% of the it shows the values. When the higher values of BA is turned into the tetragonal structure, that's why the properties are decreased. Okay, the summary of this work is we fabricated the BSPT ceramics up to x equal to 0.4 and then characterized different structural, dielectric, and ferroelectric and piezoelectric properties, and then the higher piezoelectric and ferroelectric properties obtained in the x equal to 0.05 composition due to the morphotrophic phase boundary. This explains the coexistence of two phases, rhombohedral and tetragonal phases. To enhance the piezoelectric properties, it helps the piezoelectric properties. A large piezoelectric coefficient 538 picocoulomb per Newton and high Curie temperature obtained in that 393 degrees Celsius, and then reduced coercive field 25.1 kilovolt per centimeter are obtained at x equal to 0.05 compositions. So this is, however, present great focus on the developing lead-free. Okay, then but the lead-based ceramics are very toxic. The BB material is very toxic to the environment, the human health also. That's why we focus into the currently the focus on turn into the lead-free piezoelectric ceramics. So why we are going to the piezoelectric? The main reason is the BB-based materials are very high piezoelectric properties, even though the drawback is the toxicity of this material. Okay, to replace the lead-based piezoelectric materials, we have to concentrate on the lead-free piezoelectric materials. So among the various piezoelectric materials, lead-free piezoelectric materials available. For example, barium titanate, sodium bismuth titanate, sodium potassium niobate are expected to the promising substitute for lead-based ones. Okay, then here I mentioned some examples: BBTAO3, BA8TiO3, BA-ZrO3, CaTiO3 based materials, LiSB modified KNbO3, NbNbO3, and then Na in sodium bismuth titanate added with modified with barium titanate. So there are many projects and turned into the lead-free piezoelectric ceramics. This is some screenshot from the news. And then this is I have to going to the case study for the lead-free piezoelectric. First one composition is sodium bismuth compositions 0.5, and then PaTiO3 compositions, and I replaced some Ta part in pi yttrium and Sb compositions. Okay, and another one composition is barium titanate material modified with the double dopant calcium and stannate, calcium in the A site and Sn in the B site of the barium titanate. Okay, first one is sodium bismuth titanate modified with the YSB, the TMSB. Here I show the powder X-ray diffraction patterns of the prepared samples. The calcination temperature is 800 and the sintering temperature is 1180, and then the rhombohedral is characterized by rhombohedral phase R3C space group, and then subjected to Retival refinement. The Retival refinement shows the sample crystallized by the rhombohedral R3C space group, and then I show the structural parameters of the prepared NBT YSB samples, and here I saw the Raman spectra. The Raman modes below its corresponding in the places shows the different A site and TAO bonds in and TiO6 octahedra for the ours are present in the samples, prepared samples. And then here I show the dielectric properties of NBT YSB. The first, there is two anomaly peak. One is TS and TM. The TS is the depolarization temperature corresponding to depolarization temperature. The depolarization is the short range of ferroelectric domains are changed into long range of ferroelectric domain, and then Tm is represented as the phase change. The rhombohedral phase completely changed to tetragonal or cubic phase structure, paraelectric phase structures. So next one is PE and AC. PE means polarization electric field versus electric field, and AC loop is strain versus electric loop. Up to I increase the dopant, the loops are very narrow and slim. So this exactly it shows the explains the relaxer nature of these materials. Relaxer nature of these materials. Also, the negative strain of this material is reduced when the dopant increased. In the table shows the maximum polarization and strain values of these prepared samples. Okay, and then the calcium doped barium barium titanium oxide. Here the same powder X-ray diffraction patterns. The X-ray patterns in figure B also shows the coexistence of orthorhombic and tetragonal phase, and then after 0.06 composition, it turned as a tetragonal, fully tetragonal phase. This can be explained from the 2 theta peaks splitting and the split how it changes. It can be explained from the figure B. And then I source the cell parameters, cell volume density, and then tetragonality factor, reliability factor. Also, I mentioned this from this table. And then dielectric, same dielectric, but here the dielectric value, there is a 3 anomaly peak. The transition between the TRO, TOT, because the rhombohedral to orthorhombic phase transition peak is below the 0 degree Celsius, and then OT, orthorhombic to tetragonal phase peak, is observed around the room temperature, and then when I increase the temperature at around 80 or 80 degree, there is the tetragonal phase changed to cubic phase. Also, here I mentioned the phase diagram of this material, how the material, when I increase the temperature, the phase has been changed. In every peak, it explains the phase change between the one structure to another structure. Also, it can be shown. I can show the rhombohedral phase diagram. Okay, the PU loops measurements of the same calcium doped titanate is shows the around 0.02 and 0. Up to 0.04 compositions have good property. When I increase the 0.08 composition, the values are decreasing. And then here the AC loops, strain versus electric field loops of the prepared samples. The value around 0.08 to 0.1 composition, the strain values. And then the summary of my presentation. This case study is the polycrystalline for the lead-free ceramics, lead-free paste NBT, BT, OSB compositions, and then calcium doped barium titanate compositions. Solid solution were prepared by the solid state reaction methods, and then the detailed structural, dielectric, ferroelectric, and then properties were investigated and analyzed. The effect of CA incorporation on the crystal structure, dielectric, ferroelectric, and electrostatic properties of the calcium doped barium titanate. The calcium doping enhances the polarizability of BCTS ceramics. Okay, then this is my past research work. Totally 31 publications. Out of the 31, 11 is the first author, and some of other papers are published in co-authors. Here I show the various publications names, and then you can also many fellowships are available in the Indian funded by the Indian Government of India in the colleges, universities, and then KVPY, GATE, NET, just examinations. It can be available funding for the PhD course, and then some other funding are available in UGC by the major and minor project research projects, and then postdoctoral fellowships, the OBC fellowship, and then women scientist fellowships, and then the CSIR, the funding availability in the CSIR, senior research associates, visiting schemes, visiting fellowship, and then some many fellowships are available for research scholars. There is funding availability from the DRDO. Can search and then apply for the fundings and then do your research work. Okay, then another funding available is on the Department of Atomic Energy and DST. Also, here I complete my presentation. Okay, thank you for your participation. Sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your opportunity, sir. Okay, sir. Is there any questions, sir, regarding the presentations?
Is there any question of this presentation? Resource person wants to ask question from the audience. If you have any question, then you can ask.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. S. Sasikumar, for sharing your expertise knowledge. Your patience shines through in your presentation. Up next, we have our speaker, Dr. Sanjoy Das from Nagaland University, School of Agricultural Economics. Dr. Sanjoy Das is an Associate Professor in Department of Agricultural Economics, School of Agricultural Sciences, Nagaland University, Metsapima campus, developed and submitted 7 numbers of Monitoring and Evaluation Report and Extension Reform Program in Nagaland, life member of Indian Association for the Study of Population, life member of South Asian Network for Development and Environmental Economics, life member of International Journal of Bioresources and Stress Management published by Pushpa Publishing House, Kolkata. He had qualified NET in Agri-economics conducted by ASRB, New Delhi, published more than 43 research papers and 5 book chapters. Before you take your time, sir, we would like to acknowledge and felicitate your presence among our mates. To do the honor, I kindly call up Dr. M. Kong Sanla Longjar, IQAC Director, to come up and do the honor. Dr. Sanjay Dose, kindly come up and receive our felicitation. Just do it there because there's... Sir will share on the topic Agri-entrepreneurship and sustainable development. Kindly take your time.
Give it in a full screen, full screen. I think it's good afternoon to all of you, respected dignitaries, esteemed faculties from St.Joseph universities, esteemed participants, and my dear students, friends. First of all, I welcome you all to my small presentation in this international seminar under St.Joseph University. And of course, this is, I have collected some of the information from the different sources, and I want to put all the information in front of you, and basically this presentation is prepared keeping in mind the interest of the students. So I hope the students will be able to understand. Of course, these are fundamental things that I have collected from some other sources. This is not my things. Just I want to share you. In front of you. So I should give the thank the St. Joseph University Authority as well as this organizing committee of this international seminar for giving me this opportunity to be part of this international seminar and giving me a chance to present a particular topic that is agro-entrepreneurship and sustainable development. So with that, I will come to the presentation now. So I just want to start with a quote that was given by our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. What he has said, India lives in villages and agriculture is the soul of the Indian economy. Next please. That will not work. Hello. Yeah. So can I use like this way? I think it's okay. So please, if you can come forward. Those who are sitting backside. So this Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, the father of Green Revolution in India, who has expired recently, he has given a quote, in a country where 60% of people depend on agriculture for their livelihood, it is better to become an agricultural force based on food security rather than a nuclear force. So just as the topic is agro-entrepreneurship and sustainable development, so we should know about agriculture. What is agriculture? So we all know that Indian economy, basically there are three sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary sector. So primary sector is basically deal with the agriculture sector. And we all know that agriculture sector, out of the total GDP, almost 16-17% is contributing from the agricultural sector. And in this agricultural sector, almost more than 50% workforce are engaged in agriculture sector. So just if we see, 17% GDP is contributing or providing the support to the 50% workforce that are engaged in agriculture sector. So this agriculture, however, this sector encounters several challenges that hinder its growth and sustainable economic development, including low productivity, fragmented landholding, limited access to modern technology, and fluctuating market conditions. To address all these issues and ensure the well-being of rural communities, there is a growing emphasis on the concepts of entrepreneurship, or we can say this is agripreneurship also. So agripreneurship, a fusion of agriculture and entrepreneurship, entails the application of entrepreneurial principle and innovative thinking to the agricultural activities. So we can say that entrepreneurship and when entrepreneurship is applied, or the principles of entrepreneurship are applied in agriculture, then we can say that it is agripreneurship. So it involves the transforming the traditional farming practices into dynamic, market-oriented ventures that not only increase the agricultural productivity, but also contribute to rural economic development. So especially those who are very new in this line, we have to understand the concept of this entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial process and agripreneurs. So entrepreneur, when we use this all entrepreneurial principles and practices in field of agriculture, then we can say that this is agripreneurship. So now, if we say these agripreneurs, often farmers generally take the lead in adopting modern technologies, value addition technologies, and business strategies to enhance their income and overall livelihoods. India's economic development efforts have been towards achieving sustainable across social, economic, and environmental dimension. As the country grapples with rural unemployment, food security, and climate change challenges, agripreneurship emerges as a potential solution that aligns with these goals. By encouraging sustainable agricultural practices, promoting rural employment, fostering economic growth in traditionally marginalized areas, agripreneurship holds the promise of steering India's agrarian landscape towards a more resilient and equitable future. Our earlier esteemed speaker also mentioned about this sustainability development and 3 issues of sustainability development. So, it's working now. So now, if in brief or in very simple way, if we try to understand what is entrepreneurship, so it is just the process of developing ideas and turning them into successful ventures. The word entrepreneurship means a dynamic process of creating some progressive assets. It involves innovation, risk-taking, and resource management, generate employment, drives competitiveness, and promote economic growth, adds value to products, services, even if they are not entirely new. And if we see the 1% rise in entrepreneurship development, it lowers the poverty by 2%, and a creative response to changing market and environmental conditions. So normally, if we see the entrepreneurship, it is generally it is a process of actions of an entrepreneur, and who is a person always in search of something new and exploit such ideas into gainful opportunities by accepting the risk and uncertainty with the enterprise. So normally we should not confuse about businessman and entrepreneur. So entrepreneur is a person who is coming out, who is venturing out to take certain risk with some innovative ideas. So this is very clear cut that these are the person, entrepreneur is a person who is venturing out with some innovative ideas, with some new ideas, and who are taking the risk and uncertainty in the business. So this entrepreneurship, we can say like this way, it is a process, it is not a person. Of course, entrepreneur is a person, but entrepreneurship is a process. It helps in creating and building something of value or assets. It helps in identifying an opportunity, pulling together the needed resources to pursue the opportunity, and it helps in developing and implementing a business plan, and it helps in taking the risk and uncertainty and in the business. So this, as I have said already, that when we are applying the principles of entrepreneurship in agriculture, then we can say that this is agripreneurship or agro-entrepreneurship. So this also, this agro-entrepreneurship in common language can be defined as sustainable and community-oriented and directly marketed agriculture. Sustainable agriculture refers a system-oriented approach to the farming that emphasizes the interrelationship of social, economic, and environmental processes. It is the beneficial combination of agriculture and entrepreneurship and convert the farm into an agri-business. This association of agriculture and business promotes agro-entrepreneurs who innovate, identify markets, satisfy the needs by developing different ways. The term agro-entrepreneurship is similar to entrepreneurship in agriculture and describe agri-business establishment in agriculture and allied sector. So these are the some of the importance of agro-entrepreneurship. If we develop this agro-entrepreneurship among the farming community, so again, these farmers, whatever they are doing, they are just doing their own way. Whatever the forefathers they are doing, they are still following the same way. So our objective is how we can convert our farmers to an entrepreneur, agri-entrepreneur. So just what are the importance of agri-entrepreneurship. So if we have to say that it helps in enhancing the productivity and profitability, definitely it aids the small farmers in increasing the productivity and integrating them into a local, national and international markets. And it helps in reducing the cost of production, and it also helps in stimulating the economic growth by taking different innovative and risky enterprises. So these are the some of the characteristics of an agripreneur or entrepreneur. So as I have said that agripreneur or entrepreneur is not a common person. They are having certain innovative idea. They are taking risk. They are venturing out from the normal way of life. So that's why we have to see here the different characteristics of an agripreneur. So here I have written, just I will read out this: creative and imaginative. They should be creative and imaginative. Their thinking and thoughts are flexible and adaptable. Their aptitude to learn. They are very much innovative. They are always with goal oriented. They are very much experienced. They are hard worker. They are dynamic. They are problem solver. They are very much proactive. They are having strategy, competency. They are very much confident. They are honest, and they have this visionary power. So these are some of the very, very specific characteristics of an entrepreneur that normally we cannot see with a common man or a common businessman, what we feel. So these are very important to become an entrepreneur. Next, now as the title is Agri-entrepreneurship development. So these are some of the development opportunity, entrepreneurship development opportunity in agriculture. So in agriculture, if we want to develop certain entrepreneurship or certain business unit or certain agri-business center, so these are some of the areas, or these are some of the areas where the farmers or the businessmen, they can come out, they can venturing out. These are, say, agro-produce processing unit. So they will be focusing on this processing of the agricultural products, like some rice mill or dal mills we can set up. Some farmers are coming out to set up some rice mill or dal mills. Then there are second opportunity is agro-produce manufacturing unit. So this is just entirely new products, create a new product using agricultural raw materials, like sugar factory. If we are using sugar cane, we will get sugar. Like bakeries, we will get bakery products by using the wheat as a raw materials. So these are there are different agro-produce manufacturing unit we can set up based on certain agricultural products. Then there is another scope for opportunity, for development of entrepreneurship, that is agro-input manufacturing unit. So as we all know, to start any business or any activity, we need certain resources. So these resources or input for agricultural mechanization as well as enhancing the production, like fertilizer, agricultural equipments. So production of all these, for production of fertilizer, agricultural inputs and different other chemicals and all, we can start some agro-input manufacturing units. Then there is, we may go for agro-service center, that is repairing and maintenance of agricultural implements and machineries. That is also very much essential these days, as even common farmers, they are also having this commercialization of agriculture, so they are also using so many implements and machineries, up-to-date machineries. So starting this agro-service center is also very important in different areas. And there are certain categories that we can club under miscellaneous areas, like starting up apiaries based on bees, feed and seed processing units, mushroom production units, vermicomposting unit, organic retail outlets, bamboo plantation and jatropha plantation. So these are some of the opportunities that we have in front of us based on agricultural raw materials. now I will come to this. There are, suppose somebody, some person or some businessman, they want to start some entrepreneurship based on agriculture or in any others, not only in agriculture, even in industry sector also. So what is the, there is a one entrepreneurial process. So this entrepreneurial process will lead us how an enterprise can be developed. So there are 5 steps under this entrepreneurial process. These are discovery. The first step is discovery. Then second one is conceptual development. The third one is resourcing. Fourth one is actualization. And fifth one is harvesting. Just if we go in detail, the first step is, this is discovery. Here we will see the identify the areas where we will start the business, where we will start the enterprise, recognize the opportunities. So what is, suppose if I want to start a business or enterprise, so what is the opportunity in front of me? What is the idea? What idea I will start the business? Say for example, if we have to start one enterprise here in this campus, so what idea will come to my mind? What idea will be feasible here in the campus? So that we have to see. We have to see the demands of the students. So if we want to start one, say, furniture house, so will it be feasible here? So that idea, generation of idea is very important. That is called discovery. So we have to, based on the demand of the particular area, we have to generate the idea so that, and that idea is also again, if we see the key consideration in these aspects here, hobbies and skill, my hobbies, suppose if I want to start, what is my hobby, what is my interest, and what is my skill level at this point of time. That is also a very important point. Then consumer need and wants, we have to see the need and demand and wants of the consumer, where we will start my enterprise or business. Then we have to do the survey and questionnaires so that we will go the feedback of the consumers, and we have to have certain demographical study also based on the area where we are going to study in our enterprise. Then the next one is conceptual development. We have to develop a business plan. This is the comprehensive plan, how I will do my business, how I will establish my enterprise. And in that point, we have to choose a business location, whether the business will create or operate online or it requires some physical location. That we have to identify in this area. We have to see even the any issue with the intellectual property right, any issue relating to patent and trademark, because these are also very important in developing an enterprise. Next is the third process is resourcing. In this stage, the entrepreneurs gather certain necessary financial, human, and capital resources related information to start the venture. So whether here we have to identify the key investor, potential investors, seek the individuals or organization willing to invest in the business. We have to identify any person who are willing to invest in this particular enterprise. Then we have to apply for financial assistance. We may have to go for loans, grants from different financial institutions. Then if we may have to think about the hiring of the employees and staff, that will be required for starting the enterprise. So this is just resourcing. Then this is the actualization. So this stage is the stage where entrepreneurs finally operates the business and utilizes the resources to achieve its goals and objectives. So there, actually the entrepreneur will start the activities here. So entrepreneur prepare for the following. So to start the business, the entrepreneur may think for the grand opening of the business by inviting the people, the public, and highlighting all those things. And then we have to, the entrepreneur has to think the operation of the business, how he will run the business after grand operation on a particular day. So this is the actualization. Business here it is started. Then the final, the fifth step in the process is the harvesting. So in this stage, the entrepreneur now has to determine the future trajectory of the fencers, including he has to think about the growth, development, or potential closure of his venture. So here key considerations are, what is his future plan for the business, whether he will think for expansion of the business in other area, in other locations, or he will close the business, and structural changes, whether he need to change whatever he was doing now at this point of time after having experience now, whether he will change. So he will modify the process. So all those things will come here under this harvesting stage. So this is all about the entrepreneurial process. If suppose any entrepreneur, he has to start an enterprise, then he has to go by this process step by step, so that he will not face any difficulty in starting the business, or there will not be any loss in future. Yes, now I come to this entrepreneurial opportunities specifically in agricultural aspects. So these are some of the aspects where we can start different agri-related activities or agri-related enterprise. Number one is diversification. Number two is organic farming. Number three is food processing, food preservation and packaging. Then floriculture is also very important aspects for starting agro enterprise. Then production of agro inputs. So I will go little bit detail here. So the first step, opportunity is this diversification. So diversification, it means we can go for, we can shift the cropping pattern, we can go for various activities. We can go for 3, 4, 5 crops. We can go for not only the crop, we can go for different other activities depending on the situations. So even we can go for different types of crops, so that there will not be any effect on soil and other environmental issues. We may go for oilseed, we may go for pulses, we may go for fodder crop, horticultural crop, medicinal crop, floriculture crop. Even we can include livestock, fishery enterprises. So this is a diversification. So that diversification, one very plus point here is we can avoid the risk. If there is a loss in one aspect, one particular activity, then other activities will support us. So that's why this diversification is very, very important. As we all know, these agriculture related business are always suffering from loss and risk. So just to avoid or overcome this risk, if we go for diversified activities, including the different types, not only the crop, any other type of agri and allied activities, then that will support us in economically. Okay, next is organic farming. As we all know, in northeastern region, this is a brand. We always searching for these organic products, and there is a huge demand also for organic products. And we all know what are the benefits of organic farming and organic products. So there is an ample scope. By default, we can say this Nagaland and northeastern region, this is an organic zone of the country. So there is a huge scope here in this organic farming. So we can recommend, we can think, we can promote the people for this organic farming because demand is there, brand is there. It's a problem. I don't know why it is not. Okay, yeah. Yeah, number 3 is food preservation, processing and packaging. This is also very, very important aspects for entrepreneurship development, especially in northeastern region. And as we all know, a large proportion of the agricultural produce is wasted due to improper storage and warehousing facilities. We do not have any this scientific storage structure either in the government level or at the private level. And we have a problem of transportation, road communication, and because of that, there is a significant loss in the products. So if we go for this preservation, processing, and packaging of all these, especially agricultural products, fruits and vegetables, even some medicinal plants and all, so there is a huge scope for development of this agro-entrepreneurship. Then next is there is a another aspects, this floriculture. As we all know, this is the study about the flowers. So there is a huge scope here. In this particular aspects, we all know this is a very lucrative sector, and India's share in the world trade of floriculture is only just 0.18%. And this is a huge market to be tapped, considering the rising demand of fresh flowers. So this is one of the very important aspects. Then this another one is agro inputs, that production of agro inputs, because we all know that this we need the different type of resources and inputs for production of various products and activities like fertilizers, seed, pesticides, to increase our crop productivity, crop quality, then to control the pests and diseases, and to control the faster growth and higher returns. So for all this is also one of the very successful venture, we can say, for entrepreneurship development. Now some of the very specifically in Nagaland conditions, say whether we can mention some of the entrepreneurial activities, not only in agri related, but overall, what are the very specific business or very specific activities that are very successful in Nagaland. So one is very important aspect is tourism business. So as we all know, this scenic landscape of the hilly terrain of the Nagaland, along with its rich culture offers immense potential of the development of this tourism sector. That another aspect is handicraft and handloom shop. This is also one of the very important aspects in Nagaland condition. Then there is another aspect, already I have highlighted, floriculture. There is a tremendous scope here in Nagaland. Then bamboo-based industrial unit. This Nagaland is very famous for bamboo production also. We have one bamboo research center here nearby. So there is an ample scope for development of enterprise based on bamboo products here in Nagaland, and mineral-based resources also is of course, it is a huge demand and huge source for this. So now this, yes, there are ample scope, there are different opportunities. We all know that opportunities are there, scopes are there, but after that also, we are not developing that way. So there are certain problems, we all know all these problems, but just I want to highlight that, say, this is inadequate infrastructure, especially the transportation and marketing challenge. Because of that, this development of enterprise or entrepreneurship is a big issue here. Then there is a constraint of funding for investment. Maybe it is also a problem sometime. Then inadequate extension services and research on the best farming practices. That may also be, although there are lots of extension services nowadays under agri and allied departments, but after that also, though all those technology and practices have not reached so far at all level. So this is also considered still a problem for development of enterprise. Now this, I will come to the second portion of the my topic, that is sustainable development, and this is, of course, our esteemed speakers are Panda sir. He has already highlighted some of the issues on this sustainable development. So as we all know, sustainable development, it is a process to utilize the resources, the existing resources, in such a way so that our future generations are not affected. So that we have to always keep. We can utilize our resources, whatever available in such a way, so that the future generation, whoever is coming, they are also getting the same resources, so that they can also utilize those resources for their generation. So this is an approach to social and economic and environmental planning that attempts to balance the social and economic needs of the present and future human generations with the imperative preserving or preventing undue damage to the natural environment. Sustainable development is an approach to the economic development of a country without compromising with the quality of the environment for future generation. In the name of economic development, the price of environmental damage is paid in the form of land degradation, soil erosion, pollution and deforestation. This damage may surpass the advantages of having more quality output of goods and services. So even if we are utilizing the resources, we may get the more products, more output, but whatever the damage caused in relation to this land degradation, soil erosion, pollution and deforestation, so that may be more than whatever we will get the produce. So the concept is like that. So this sustainable development can be facilitated through 5 guiding principles. This is living within the environmental limits, then ensuring a strong, healthy society, achieving a sustainable economy, then promoting good governance and utilizing information communication technology as a social responsibility. So only the utility, how we are using all these things, that is the main issue for sustainable development. Now how to achieve this sustainable development? So what we have to do for that? How we can get our resources, how we can keep our resources for our future generation as such. So for that, what we have to do is by restricting our human activities. Then we have to, technological development should be input effective and not input utilizing. So we are using the input effectively and not, it is not that input utilizing, just we are utilizing, not like that. The rate of consumption should not surpass the rate of salvation. Then for renewable resources, the rate of consumption should not surpass the rate of production of renewable substitutes. And all forms of pollution should be minimized. And the last point is by sensible use of natural resources. So if we can follow all this within our limit, all of us, if we can follow within our limit, then one day, yes, definitely this automatically this sustainable development may come. These are some of the example of this sustainable development activities. If we can go for this wind energy, solar energy, sustainable forestry, then this greenhouse, like that. Crop rotation, as I have mentioned, if we use the crops in different way, if we are cultivating a particular crop always, then the soil will be degraded. So instead of doing that, if we go for rotation, suppose if we are using pulse crop, then after that if we are using another cereal crops, so pulse crop will give added benefit of adding fertilizer. So that way we can keep our land quality intact. So we can go for crop rotation, then green space if we go for like that, and sustainable construction. All we have to think for this. These are the 3 pillars. Already we have discussed 3 pillars of this sustainable development. One is social, meeting the needs of the people, that is the social responsibility. Another one is the environmental, protecting the well-being of our environment. Then another one is the economic, ensuring the financial stability. So these are the three pillars: social development, environmental development, and economic development. These are the three pillars of this sustainable development. Now this, our sir has mentioned already that sustainable development, something about these sustainable development goals. This was developed by United Nations. Earlier it was Millennium Development Goals. Now from 2016 we have these Sustainable Development Goals. It is adopted by 193 countries, including India. And already this government of India, they have started this sustainable implementation of these Sustainable Development Goals. There are total 17 number of global goals. And this 2030 is the end of this particular program, 2016 to 2030. So the government, the United Nations, they are thinking by 2030, the country will be a sustainable country, the world, like that. So this, after this MDG, Millennium Development Goals, this SDG, these are considered the new universal goals adopted by these 193 countries, including India, and it has 17 goals, 169 targets, and implementation span is 2016 to 2030. And it is served as a blueprint for achieving a better and sustainable futures for all by 2030. And these are some of the list of 17 sustainable development goals. So government of India, they are trying to remove all this for development of all these 17 issues. Say the number one is no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation, infrastructure, reduce inequality, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption, production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong India. And the last one is combining all this. These are the, in picture, the 17 different goals. Now to achieve all these goals, there are different programs and initiatives from the government side to achieve all these goals. These are the programs already, these are going on in all over India. This is one, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. This is employment generation related scheme. Then National Rural and Urban Livelihood Mission, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Soil Health Cards, National Food Security Mission, National Health Mission, National Education Missions, Beti Bachao, Beti Parao, Swachh Bharat Missions, National Rural Drinking Water Program, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Rural and Urban, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchay Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, National Mission for Green India. So these are the schemes and programs. Already these are going on all over the country for development of, or for achieving all these 17 sustainable development goals. Now just after initiating of all those activities and programs by Government of India since 2016, so there are certain progress and achievement so far our country is concerned. Significant progress have been recorded in eliminating the poverty, providing decent work, economic growth, climate action, and life on land. Targeted interventions by the government such as Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Ujjwala, Swachh Bharat, Jan Dhan, Ayushman Bharat, PMJY, Ayushman Arogya Mandir, PM Mudra Yojana, Subhagya Startup India, etc. had impact and led to rapid improvement for these goals. All the states have improved their overall SDC scores. Now the national score has rose to 71 in 2023-24. It was 66 in 2020-21 and 57 in 2018. That was considered as a best score, 57 in 2018. Now this way, this overall score of our country has jumped. 57 in 2018, it has jumped to 60 in 2019-20. Then 2021, it is 66. Then 23-24, it is 71. And this overall score, this is 71, and this is a significant improvement from 66 from 2020-21. And scores for the states. Earlier, it is ranked now from 57 to 79 as per the 2000 latest report published. And earlier, it was 42 to 69. Among all the states, this was the range, 42 to 69 in 2018. Now it has jumped to 57 to 79. And there is a special significant increase is recorded in goal 1, that is no poverty. Again, even in goal 8 also, decent work and economic growth, there also there is a significant development. And goal 13, climate action, and 15, live on land. So in these 4 aspects, there was a significant progress recorded in our state. So these are the in photographs I have just shown how this state or the country has had a very good or increasing over the years the score. If we see the picture, then I think it will be it is clear. There is a problem in some set of see there are some categories. Those red color, it indicates that these are aspirant level 0 to 49 score. Then this yellow color, it is performer. If the score is in between 50 to 64, then it is under the category of performer. And if we see the score 65 to 99, then it is for front runner. And when it will reach the 100, then it is called achiever. So now if we, in 2018, the red color one, this was more. Now there is no, in 2023, there is no state under the category of aspirant. That is in between 0 to 49 point. So even if we see the performer, earlier it was yellow color. If we see, there are lots of yellow color in the 2018, 2020, 21 also. There were lots of area under yellow. That means under performer category. But in 2023-24, only a few states under performer category, and many states, say for example, 10 new states, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Manipur, Orissa, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu. These states have entered from performer to this achiever category, this front runner category. So between 2018 and 23-24, fastest moving states are Uttar Pradesh, increase in the score by 25, followed by Jammu and Kashmir 21, Uttarakhand 19, Sikkim 18, Haryana 17. Assam and Tripura are also there. So these are some of the areas where all those schemes and activities were implemented. Say, For example, if we see over 4 crore houses under PM Awas Yojana, it has already done in our country. For achieving all these sustainable goals, say 11 crore toilets and 2.23 lakh community sanitary complexes were established in the rural areas. Then 10 crore LPG connection under PM Ujjwala Yojana was supplied. Then tap water connection in over 14.9 crore households under Jal Jeevan Mission, over 30 crore beneficiaries under Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Then coverage of over 80 crore people under the National Food Security Act, 5 kg food grains supplied under this National Food Security Act. Then access to 1,50,000 Ayushman Arogya Mandir, which offer primary medical care and provide affordable generic medicines. Then there is a provision of direct benefit transfer, DBT, of rupees 34 lakh crore through PM Jan Dhan accounts. Then this Skill India mission has led to over 1.4 crore youth being trained and upskilled and has reskilled 54 lakh youth. So this way the government of India has done tremendous work for achieving these SDG goals, and accordingly they have succeeded also, and that's why now the score it has reached 71. So there are some more facilities and interventions from the government sides. This PM Mudra Yojana sanctioned 43 crore loans. Then Startup India and Startup Guarantee Schemes, that is for the youth. Then Saubhagya scheme for access to electricity. Then emphasis on renewable energy resulted in an increase in solar power capacity from 2.82 GW to 73.32 in the past decade. And between 2017 and 2013, India has added around 100 GW of installed electric capacity of which around 80% is attributed to non-fossil fuel-based resource. So this is also a tremendous development. Then so far this digital infrastructure is concerned, improvement in digital infrastructure with reduced internet data cost by 97%, which has in turn positively affected and fostered the financial inclusion. So some of the key intervention and facilitating areas for this sustainable development. So I will come to the conclusion part. As we all know, this agro-entrepreneurship is a crucial driver for sustainable development in the agriculture sector. So by fostering innovation, improving resource efficiency, and promoting eco-friendly practices, agro-entrepreneur can enhance productivity while minimizing the environmental impacts. The integration of technology and sustainable practices not only boost economic growth but also strengthen food security and rural livelihood. As we move forward, supporting agri-entrepreneurship through policy framework, education, and access to finance will be essential to create a resilient agricultural system that contributes to sustainable development goals. So in the last, I will say this entrepreneur, this is the need of the hour. We have to think about entrepreneur. We have to, even the farmers, every farmer, if we convert them to an entrepreneur, and whole agriculture, if we convert them to an enterprise, I think then there will be a great benefit for the society. So this is the need of the hour, how we can develop the entrepreneurship, not only in agriculture, in other sector also. Then entrepreneur converts a source into a resource. This is also very important. And entrepreneurs are the persons who shift economic resources out of an area of lower productivity to an area of higher productivity and greater yield. So this is the thing that we all feel, and accordingly, if we take some action, I am from agricultural field, so yes, I will be very happy if some of your students who are participating here in this international seminar, if they show some interest on some agri-allied related enterprise, then we'll be very happy, because we all know this entrepreneur is a person who ultimately he will not be a employee, rather he will be an employer. He will give the employment opportunity to others. So with that end, with that line, I will say thank you to all for patient listening. Of course, as I told earlier in the beginning, that this is basically prepared for the benefit of the students, for the benefit of the student participants, and I have collected all this information from some other sources. I have just presenting in front of you for just supplying the information for your information only. So that's all. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Wish you all the best, all the participants, for successful completion of this international seminar. Thank you. If you have any query,
Thank you, sir, for your innovative and inspiring presentation. As you have mentioned in the characteristics of agri-entrepreneurship, I would like to ask one question. According to your opinion, which factors most affect the implementation of new technologies in agri-entrepreneurship?
yeah, thank you for the question. See, as I have mentioned, entrepreneurs are the person who are venturing out with some new innovative ideas and who are taking risk. So I feel to start the enterprise in agriculture, that innovativeness of the entrepreneur is very essential, as well as the risk-taking power. Without any, without the power of having any, that means that risk-bearing ability. If the entrepreneur, they do not have that risk-bearing ability, then it may be quite meaningless to start this enterprise, because especially agri and allied, we are always associated with the risk, and we are always, we should be ready always with certain percentage for risk factor, say 20-30% the return, always we have to deduct for estimating our return. So innovativeness and the risk-bearing ability of the entrepreneur may be the best quality of an entrepreneur who are interested in agriculture.
Sir, how do you see your article? How far it was helping you in your in professional as well as in practitioner in the fields? Whether you get any feedback from the field, or what inspired to choose this topic?
Yeah, thank you for your query. Actually, this is not my choice. The topic was given by the organizing committee. So accordingly, I have prepared. Yes, of course, I have some small experience on this subject. We have certain courses on entrepreneurship development in our campus, as well as we are dealing, we have certain programs on uh, certain programs with our students in the field, where we are giving certain sort of training for entrepreneurship development, so learning by doing. So they have to go to the field, they have to stay in the villages, they have to work there with the farmers. So that way we are having certain experiences on this field. But of course, frankly, the topic was given by the organizing committee, and accordingly I tried to collect some information from different sources. Of course, although I did not mention here, but I have the list of sources that I have collected. And whatever way it is possible, whatever way it is interesting for you, especially the you people, I tried to present, but I don't know how much the information I was able to supply you. That too I can say. But anyway, thank you for your question. Any other question? Yeah, please. Some of you are interested for starting any enterprise after your completion of postgraduate or say graduate. You know, there is one organization here in Nagaland, Entrepreneur Associates. Somewhere nearby we have office, Entrepreneur Associate. So they are also having lots of program and activities for development of entrepreneur in Nagaland. Almost more than 25 years they have completed. They have developed lots of entrepreneur in Nagaland.
Yes, that topic, sustainable development, agro-entrepreneurship and sustainable development, that topic we forwarded to the resource person to deliver his speech here. Why we have chosen this topic, that sustainable development is a very vast topic, and what it means, the development of the present generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. So in that context, since we are not compromising the needs of the future generation, agriculture, entrepreneurship and agriculture plays an important role to preserve the future. So that's why we have chosen that topic. Thank you.
So any other queries or confusion? Yeah, I am from here only. You know Majifema, the School of Agricultural Sciences, Nagaland University, Majifema campus. I am working there as associate professor. So yeah, you can make some visit in our campus. Especially I am telling on the students. You can make some sort of visit to our campus. You can see our activities. Based on, we have 13 departments in our campus. All are agri departments. So all these departments are having different activities. We have the mushroom production units. We have honeybee production units. We have this poultry unit. We have this livestock production unit. So if you can make certain programs, we have one museum also showing all the Nagaland's the resources, whatever the cultural things, resources, all are available there. Just 1 year back we inaugurated one museum. So you can see there the available things of Nagaland. So the students of St.Joseph University, you can make a certain program to visit our institute through your teachers, and you will be able to see our activities there. You are most welcome. So if this is okay, then we'll say the thank you to all of you, and thank you the organizing committee giving me this opportunity for sharing some information on agro-entrepreneurship and sustainable development. Thank you.
Your experience and knowledge in agro-entrepreneurship and sustainable development are truly valuable. It was really informative. Your presentation has deeply resonated with our audience, will surely have a lasting impact. So, thank you everyone for your active participation. We will now break for lunch, and for delegates, the lunch is arranged at boardroom ground floor, and for the paper presenters and participants, the lunch is arranged at mess hall. The volunteers will assist you, and we will reconvene at